going bonkers over two computer-generated monsters have a go at each other with a plot that's so convenient where thousands of people die, but audience loves it watching its own kind die more than ever. There could never be a better time than this to watch The New Empire in theaters. With every Monsterverse movie and people complaining, why do you even show us humans? Just have the monsters fight it out for 2 hours. This was the time for the showrunners to shine. A big brain time who went like, people don't want to see us humans. What if we humanize the monsters? What if we make them human-like? What if we give them emotions? The New Empire, the latest addition in the Monsterverse, does something different this time. It tries to give emotions to Kong both physically and the way it's shot, with close-up shots showing how expressive Kong is than I have ever been my entire life. But while making Kong human, they seem to have really enjoyed it that they've forgotten there needs to be Godzilla in the movie too. It looked like they sprinkled Godzilla post-script writing and somehow managed to make it make sense towards the end of the movie. For me, this movie felt like two movies. A good story that lies within the overall movie, which has other stories that I didn't care much for. This is a movie about Kong and his journey to find more of his own kind in the Hollow Earth. The struggle of proving his worth as an alpha titan when he encounters Scar King, and on the opposite spectrum, a budding bond between him and Zuko, which starts off as a confrontation but slowly transcends to somewhat a father-son duo or even a brotherly connection, if you will. All of this without a word said, but with emotions and gestures so beautifully portrayed from Kong and Zuko that is good enough to buy you in what's happening. You are hooked, you root for Kong, you feel bad when he is hit, you want him to get up, you are at the edge of the seat when Mini Kong comes to save the day and the audience starts cheering for him. This little part of the movie alone is already a good story. With great visual effects and beautiful world building, I wouldn't mind to let the entire movie just be this. But there is another story going on in this movie, which are trying to cater to personas, the human element and the audience element. Very much like how Argyle did with Henry Cavill and John Cena, The New Empire did with Godzilla. Godzilla has more of a cameo than anything else in this movie, but its name in the movie and trailers will surely get audiences. Not that the cameo disappoints. I mean, the cameo does not disappoint at all. Especially towards the last 30 minutes of the movie, all hell breaks loose and there are monsters flying everywhere. Background music reaching crescendo and it's the ultimate cinematic high. It's good to watch, but does it add anything of value to the story? Probably not. But do people even care if it adds value to the story as long as it's entertaining? Probably not. And it was entertaining as hell, which is the expectations people have from such movies. Getting a good story along with it is just icing on the cake. Every time such movies come, the only question we have is how will they top this in the next one? And they always find creative ways to bring forth spectacular scenes, going one step ahead every single time. Now for the human element, however, neither did I find a good story nor could I cling on to entertainment. It's definitely not easy when you're writing a movie where people want to see everything but humans, but you have to have humans and make it work somehow. The reason I think it always gets called out is because how half-baked these humans interactions are written. Instead of being good in one thing, they try to be multiple things and succeed in neither. They have to be funny with Brian's character Bernie and also emotional with Gia and Dr. Andrews. At the same time, in the same movie, in so little time, as the main focus also needs to be on the monsters. What these leads to are firstly super convenient plots. Kong needs a hand? No problem. We just had one build because we knew this is exactly something you would need someday in the future, and it would also be in Hollow Earth lying somewhere around. The entire outpost is destroyed, but trust me, what we need will work absolutely fine. Secondly, it starts becoming repetitive because there is no time to introduce new stuff. Bernie going on about his blogs, conspiracy theories, podcast listeners since 2 movies now. I mean, how much is too much? Well, at least he's got more listeners than my subscribers. They could not have humans at all, but having humans might actually save them some budget for visual effects CGI. And moreover, I think the whole concept of Monsterverse is showing a world where titans and humans can coexist. How people lose their life as collateral damage to destructions caused by titans, and how their families are affected if they lose the breadwinner of their house, or lose their entire house for that matter. These all are really interesting concepts, but the franchise is still struggling to find a balance between showing monsters versus humans. I still found myself wanting to move on to the next scenes whenever the movie started spending time with the humans. Comedy does work in few places, but overall leaves you with mixed feelings. However, whatever they were trying to do with the emotional bit didn't work for me at all. After the big fight, Gia leaves her people to be with Dr. Andrews. I mean, she hated school. She said that she felt out of place. Wouldn't it make sense to stay there? Wouldn't she be better off with her own people? How am I supposed to feel emotional with such short time spent with her and Dr. Andrews? I mean, we just see Dr. Andrews picking Gia from school like one time. And the moment she chose to be with Dr. Andrews over her own people was supposed to be the awe moment, but that just didn't connect with me. I was like, cool, but where did Godzilla go? That's the video, guys. It's a franchise for entertainment, and entertainment you get all along with bits and pieces you feel you could have avoided. We do have Monarch, the Legacy of Monsters from Apple TV that focuses more on the human element, whereas I guess theaters are only focused on movies for alpha titans having a go at each other, creating mass destruction, and I think that makes sense too from a visual experience. You want fun and big monster experience, you watch it in theaters. You want good human element, character driven narrative, stream it from your home. But here's to hoping as we progress in this monsterverse, we do reach the sweet spot where titans and humans can coexist in the movie too.